Now in this episode, we are going with... Hello guys, welcome to Historical Films. Rudolph Valentino, one of the most iconic stars of the silent movie era. His image evokes different kinds of thoughts and emotions. Here we are at the Rudolph Valentino building. Now this building, it was alleged that Rudolph Valentino actually slept in this building, but it's impossible because they built in the late 20s and he unfortunately died in 1926, but it still lives up to his iconic name. He became one of the most sought-after stars after appearing in hugely successful films like The Sheik and Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Fame usually brings wealth. Wealth brings luxury. Stars love to decorate their homes with this fancy furniture, as well as lavish themselves with these fancy clothes and accessories. And Valentino was no different. But in this video, we're going to go over one of the most infamous tales of this Italian heartthrob, the alleged curse ring. The origin of this ring has been easily tracked down, but the tale starts back in 1922.
Chapter 2. Rudolph Valentino. Superstar Rudolph Valentino was on a break from filming and decided to visit San Francisco. One day, Valentino went to an antique shop and stumbled upon a shop that sold jewelry. He was drawn to this gray ring with a tiger eye jewel on it. The shop owner told him the ring was cursed and all of its previous owners had misfortune thrust upon them. He tried dissuading Valentino from purchasing the ring. Valentino, a skeptic to such superstitions, disregarded the message and purchased it anyway. He loved the ring and decided to wear it on a regular basis. Valentino actually wore the ring in a lost film called The Young Raja. The movie ended up being a flop. Pure coincidence? People may say that. Others may argue because the production was considered too highbrow for a Valentino movie. Natasha Rambova, who was Valentino's second wife, insisted on being a part of the production. She was seen as too controlling over his wardrobe for Valentino. Eventually, she was barred off the set of his future pictures. Regardless, the ring appears here. Valentino dealt with both personal and professional tragedies throughout the last years of his life, which included other flops of his pictures, as well as 2 failed marriages. Nothing more tragic than in 1926, when Valentino succumbed to ulcers flaring up that led to peritonitis. He unfortunately died at the age of 31.
Yeesh, if I was told something about that ring, I wouldn't even dare try to buy it or test the fate of it. Ugh.
Chapter 3. Pola Negri, the next victim.
You would think that the story would end with Valentino, but oh no, that's only the beginning. We have the next victim, iconic silent movie actress Pola Negri, right here.
When Valentino died, Pola Negri, a Polish silent movie actress, was Valentino's last girlfriend. She even claimed she was his fiancée. Negri lavished at getting as much attention as she could in the press. She made a spectacle at Valentino's funeral. According to actor Ben Lyon, she appeared as if she was fainting at the ceremony, including at Valentino's coffin. According to the ring lore, she was able to attain some of Valentino's personal belongings, which for her misfortune was the alleged cursed ring. Decades later, a painting by Federico Beltran Masses featured the silent lovers, Pola Negri and Rudolph Valentino, with what is believed to be the cursed ring, was sold at the Bonhams auction house in 2017 for close to $175,000. Masses painted the portrait in 1925, some saying is the only visual of the alleged cursed ring. When Negri wore the ring, she got extremely sick to the point where she almost died. She suffered acute nervous breakdowns. The press kept attacking Negri on the way she acted with the death of Valentino. In 1927, she starred in a movie called Hotel Imperial, in which was a departure for her typical vamp persona. The movie was considered her last huge success. A year later, the lore from the alleged cursed ring continued. Negri not only lost her contract from Paramount Pictures, but she was considered by some to be in a rebound marriage from Valentino, which unfortunately produced a miscarriage, as Negri really wanted children. This resulted in her not only considering retiring from the film industry altogether and recovering from her illnesses, but to try to later revive her career. Quick side note to the ring story. There could be a group of additional victims to the lore. Here we go. Most of the key players of Hotel Imperial had an unfortunate fate as well. Negri's stand-in, Adrienne Ames, was starting to build her way up into a major star, but saw her star dim by the later 1930s. Ames died young at the age of 39. James Hall, who became a huge star with Hell's Angels, also saw his career flounder shortly afterwards. He unfortunately died young at the age of 39. George Siegman, one of the stars of the picture, died a year later after the movie was released. Mikhail Vavich, who was also in the film, died in 1930 in a car accident from the result of a heart attack. The director, Moritz Stiller, was most famous for discovering Greta Garbo and bringing her to America, died the following year of the film's release.
Coincidence? Who's to say? End of side note.
Negri then handed the ring to her next lover, an unfortunate victim, Russ Columbo. She was smitten with whom she thought was a Valentino lookalike. Chapter 4. Russ Columbo. Russ Columbo was a singer of the early 1930s, having a similar crooner style as Bing Crosby and Rudy Vallee. Just when his career was moving up, he unfortunately died in a fatal shooting accident after visiting a friend of his who collected vintage guns. The surgeon was not able to remove the bullet lodged above his eye from his brain. His funeral was a huge spectacle of celebrities who knew him, including Carolelombard, who not only was a dear friend of his, but also romantically involved at one point. Which brings up the next victim.
Oh, Russ Columbo, but oh my goodness, Carolelombard. I mean, far-fetched, right, you might think, but there has to be a tie in there somewhere.
Chapter 5. Other Victims. Carolelombard was one of the most famous screwball comedians of the 1930s. She started her film career as a child actress, jumping from studio to studio. After a car accident that left her with a serious scar, she thought her movie career would be over. She was lured by Max Sennett, and she became not only a bathing beauty, but discovered she had a knack for comedy. With Sennett, she found she could not only be a comedian, but a glamorous movie star. Her eventual marriage to Clark Gable and career were tragically cut short by an unfortunate plane crash in 1942. Lombard didn't directly wear the ring, but was closely associated with Columbo, who had the alleged cursed ring. Columbo's cousin handed the ring to Columbo's closest friend, Joe Casino, who was a small entertainer himself. He decided to store it away in a glass case. A museum later on asked if he was willing to donate the ring that was collecting Valentino relics. He refused, as he wanted to keep the memento as a memory for his friend. After years of having it stored away, forgetting about the supposed reputation the ring had, he wore the ring. According to the lore, within a week of wearing the ring, he died in a car accident, being struck with the cursed ring. What's with all these car accidents related to this ring? That I don't know. Because of the severity of the accident and the supposed cursed ring, word started to spread around town. Chapter 6. Valentino Biopic Woes. Del Casino, who was Joe's brother, decided it was all just a story and complete nonsense. Adding to the bizarreness of the story, in 1938, a small producer named Edward Small wanted to make a well-researched biopic about Rudolph Valentino. He wanted to hire Jack Dunn, who was a notable figure skater with Sonja Henie. Small thought Dunn looked similar to the Italian heartthrob. Small was trying to collect some Valentino relics to add to the authenticity of the role, which included borrowing the ring from Casino. Dunn, according to the lore, did some tests with the alleged cursed ring. On a hunting trip in Texas, Dunn contracted tularemia from a rabbit. When he came back to Hollywood, he died from the disease at the young age of 21. It took several years for this Valentino biopic to be made, recast with Anthony Dexter. Released in 1951, the movie was a flop, another victim of the alleged cursed ring. Casino escaped death, but he dealt with a traumatic experience. Someone robbed his house, which included the cursed ring. The man who burglarized his home? James Willis. He was running with some valuables while the police warned him they would shoot. They did, which accidentally killed him. Casino decided to keep the ring in a safe in Los Angeles. Chapter 7. Cursed Ring's Alleged Last Victim. The bank continued the curse. Several robberies were held here, including a huge robbery heist, who tried to rob $250,000. The police were able to stop them. Alfred Hahn, the racketeer who ran the heist, was jailed for life. When he found out that the cursed ring was in the bank at his trial, he quipped, "If I had known what was in that vault apart from the money, I'd have picked myself another bank." Chapter 8. Where is the ring now? Casino decided to still have the ring at the bank. Police decided to keep it extra secure from further attempted robberies. The ring is supposedly in that same bank vault, but is hoping that time forgets and that it's there. Over the years, there have been several more robberies, but now the estate of Casino left it in that vault lock and key, never to be opened for the public again. The bank is hoping that everyone forgets its existence.
Now, after hearing this tale, everyone would want to hope that they would want the ring to disappear. But it's part of the legend, it's part of the story. There's never been a photograph actually showing the ring itself. Now, this entire video is based on stories, speculations, and rumors. I personally would love to see the ring one day, just to see what all the hubbub was about, and all of this according legend, so it could finally be put to rest. Imagine if it was all just pure coincidence. I would love to see the ring one day, but I will never want to wear it. I will refuse. Maybe hold it, but never wear it. I don't want any curse attached to me. They're not superstitious, but you never know. I hope one day, wherever the ring is at, that it surfaces so people can actually enjoy it. Goes to the hands of some Valentino collector, hopefully, and that those can also celebrate Valentino's time here on Earth. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, on this special Halloween edition of Historical Film. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, share with your friends. Also, let me know if you want to hear more stories like this. I'm trying to figure out different ways to push different kinds of stories on this channel. So please, help me out. Have a happy Halloween.